Welcome back to Julie's Wreath Boutique. Today's video is brought to you by Hobby Lobby. So let's make a wedding wreath. Let's make a wedding bouquet wreath that you could either use as your bouquet or just a wedding wreath, and then you have something absolutely stunning to put in your home when your wedding is all done and finished. So let's get started and let's make a beautiful wreath. Okay, so we're back doing another project with Hobby Lobby. So thank you, Hobby Lobby, for sponsoring another video. I love to make these for you guys. So what are we doing today? Well, we have all these beautiful florals and greenery and beautiful things from the wedding lane or department from Hobby Lobby, and we are going to make a wedding bouquet, but we're going to make it with this steel ring so that you can carry it down the aisle and then take it home and put it up in your house so that you can have a little bit of your wedding inside your home as well. But we're going to get started here. I cannot tell you the beautiful florals that they have at Hobby Lobby. It was so much fun to pick this out. I have a friend who's here in Michigan with me, and she is like one of the top wedding designers, floral designers in our area. So I FaceTimed her and she helped me kind of bring all the colors that are really popular right now. So don't worry, in the description box below, I will leave each link for everything I use, okay? And this is what's trending. This is coming from a top wedding designer, and this is what's being used all the time in weddings right now. So if you are on a budget and you want to do something yourself for your wedding, I've got the perfect project for you. So let's get started. Okay, so we have our 14-inch metal ring. This is in the back of the store where you're gonna find like the cording and different types of things to kind of like make nylon rope crafts. And what I did was, and I always have this, I tell you guys in each video, I get felt from Hobby Lobby. I buy it by the yard, and then I always have it for any project that I need. So I went ahead and I cut a 14-inch. I just went around the frame here. We will not be using this whole piece. Basically what we will do is we will make our bouquet wreath here, and then we will cut this to wherever we need to cover the backing, so that when our bride is carrying this down the aisle, that you're not going to see anything kind of like craft glue, foam, stems that we don't want to show. Okay, we want it to be smooth, we want it to be seamless. So basically when I went, they had these silver rings, and if you're wanting to use silver in your decor, then by all means keep the silver. You could spray paint these different colors like gold, and even black would be really pretty if you had some black touches in your wedding. But what I thought I would do to kind of give this is going to be more of a boho style bouquet, and that seems to be what's kind of trending in weddings right now. So we're just going to tie it on the form here. Just do a double knot. Okay, find my scissors here, and we'll cut that excess off. And basically I just want you to wrap your wire frame. Okay, you could cut some pieces off. You're going to need to hold that. You know what, let's use our glue gun here. I don't know if it's quite warm enough. There it is. So we're just going to put a little bit of glue there so that it will hold still. All right, because it'll just keep turning. So we just need to get this started. Okay, so it took me about 15 minutes to wrap the whole wire frame here. So basically what I'm going to do, I'm at the very end, I'm going to pull it really tight, okay? I'm going to add just a dot of glue right here, and then I'm going to, I cut it off here, and then I'm going to take it and make a little slip knot, and then make sure that it goes right over that glue. Really good. All right. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more dab of glue, and I'm going to wrap it about one more time. Whoops, that's a little bit bigger glue that I want. So let's do that a couple times here. And then we're just going to let that dry, and I'm going to cut that. Okay, so now that we have our ring all wrapped here, we're going to work on the foam part. Now, this is really kind of up to you, but because I have so many beautiful flowers, I really want to make this like something spectacular. Now, you could do with the foam or you could do without the foam. And then you could just connect all of your greenery up and down the side of this frame. But what it's not going to do is kind of make it nice and full, okay? It's gonna kind of bring it like so. Whereas I wanna add some foam here, I've cut some, and I wanna kind of make mine go like this. So I don't really wanna do it the normal way, just down on the bottom. I want it to kind of come at an angle from kind of like 11 or 10 o'clock to about 4 o'clock, okay? So what I did is I get these from Hobby Lobby, and they're three blocks in a pack. So what I did is I cut one of these down to about 1.5 inches in length. It's really simple to do. I'm just gonna kind of guesstimate here. And the reason why I don't want to use the full block is I don't want this to come out too much. And so now what I'm going to do is 2 blocks should be enough, okay? Because you're going to have greenery and flowers coming out this way and coming up this way. So we're going to kind of put it at an angle. What I want to do is I want to kind of see if I can fit this a little bit better to, you know, the actual form. So if I do this, all right, then it'll kind of go. Then I'm going to cut this side too a little bit so that it'll kind of go at an angle. So once we get started here, we might want to cut, once I get this all attached, we might cut some of this. Actually, you can't do that. So let's do that now. I'm going to just do this. This doesn't have to be perfect. Nobody's going to see this part, okay? Then I'm going to take my wire here, and we're going to, let's start with this one first. All right, I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to start a little bead of glue here that I can just kind of put right next to the wire form here. I'm going to hold it there for just a second. And then we're going to start, I'm going to pull that around, and I'm going to start by wrapping this. And then once we get this wrapped, I've showed you how to do this in another project that I did at the beginning of the year for Hobby Lobby. And I'll have that playlist of all my Hobby Lobby projects there. This is not secured quite yet. We're going to add glue to that, okay? Then I'm going to take my other piece, okay? Again, add some glue to kind of get us started here. And I like the Gorilla Glue. That's just my preference, but any glue will work because this really isn't, this isn't like an outdoor wreath or anything, but more of a, I mean, I guess it could, but I don't think I would want to put it on my door because then the sun might fade it. And this is something you want to keep forever, you know? Okay, so this is not the pretty side. That's okay. It doesn't need to be the pretty side. We're going to cover this up. Remember that felt? We're going to use that felt here. So at this point, now that this is pretty secured, I'm just going to start adding some glue. Okay, so now that we have our foam on, and as you can see, I put glue on the back here and on the front here. Remember, it's all going to be covered up, so don't worry about that part showing, okay? So now is the fun part. I'm going to kind of lay it this way because this is the direction I want it to go. We're going to start with our greenery, and again, I'm going to have all the links to everything that I use in this bouquet / wedding wreath in the description box below. So if you're wondering, what are those green leaves? Go to the description box, okay? So basically what we're going to do is we are going to cut with our wire cutter here. We're going to cut pieces, okay? We're going to kind of deconstruct this and cut it so that we can use it. What we're going to do is we're going to start and we're going to kind of balance each other off here. So I just dip it into my glue pot here. All right, and then I'm going to start putting it into my foam here. All right, so what we do here, we're going to come down here and do, because we want to make sure that everything is kind of symmetrical and is going to balance really well. So that's just kind of how I do it. I'm not a professional florist by any means, but I think that you don't have to be scared to do something like this. And especially if you're planning a wedding, Hobby Lobby has such wonderful stuff that you can use Really take advantage of it. They have such amazing things. I'm going to turn some of these to make sure that the right side of the leaves are showing. So we're going to add some more, and you're going to want to kind of add some off to the side here too. I think I'm going to add one in that direction there. I'm going to use that. And I'm going to hold off a few pieces for more of the other stuff to kind of layer it when I'm done. Okay, so now let's kind of add in our other greenery that I'm not really sure what the name is, but I just think it's really pretty, so we're going to use it. I'm going to kind of push it back there. And you could even cut this up a little bit too. You could pull up the stems on it. Okay, so as I always go on with any project, if I see a problem, I want to show you, number one, how to fix it and how to make it better. Okay, so when I put this up, this is kind of moving our foam up a little bit. So what I'm going to take are these floral pens. You can get these in the same aisle that you're going to find this glue pot. And I'm going to turn this glue pot down a little bit because it's smoking. I think I have it up too high. So I'm going to just dip my glue or my floral pen in the glue here. And I'm literally going to just put it down. Let's use my scissors. Like I told you, I use them for everything. And I'm going to push it down. We're going to do this a couple of times. We're going to put it there. All right. I don't know if you can see me getting my glue here. And then I'm going to put it right here. You'll probably see it come through here in a minute. Okay. You know what? We're going to do something different. Take that one and pull it apart like that. Okay. Can you see that? You have to be willing to do something a little different when you craft. Okay. All right, and I'm just going to leave that there. Even though that's sticking up, it's just going to help hold it, and it's not moving now. Okay, so this is becoming beautiful. I'm already loving it. So this is like, it looks like a pampas grass, and this is so popular in weddings these days and in general home decor. I mean, even if you didn't want to do this for a wedding bouquet, guys, this would make a beautiful home decor wreath as well. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of take these apart, and then we are going to put them in our wreath here. So I'm going to kind of pull out as much as I can. They're pretty close to the stem there, but we're still going to make this work, because even if I have to wrap wire around that to make that longer, we're going to make this work. So just start cutting away, because you can't put this whole big thing in one spot. So I'm just going to get busy. Okay, so I cut all of these, and these like to leave little slivers around on your work table. So I always like to use a lint brush, and that'll get everything for you. So we're just going to dip. I'm telling you, it makes life so much easier when you have one of those. All right, and then we're just going to kind of, the way I'm going to balance it out is to do one side first and then come on to the other side, okay? Okay, so now we're going to have a little bit of fun. These are very trendy on the wedding scene right now, and they are making, Hobby Lobby sells big versions of these, about that big, and you could take one of those and you could put all your favorite flowers in front of it, and people are using those for wedding bouquets. But these are very trendy, and I don't know why, but brides love them, so we're going to use it, okay? And it's just going to add to our boho theme here. So I am going to cut a little bit off. You're going to find these in the wedding aisle, okay? So we're just going to cut about an inch off here. Oops, that went across the room. And I want to just kind of keep it going with the direction. So I'm just going to dip this into our thing here. And then I'm just going to kind of, you know what, I want that to go at a better angle here. Let's do this. There we go. That's a better angle. All right, so I'm going to do one there. And dip this again. And you might have to try a couple times like I am here, but that's okay. So just going to kind of keep going with it. All right. All right, so I'm going to kind of put things in front of it. That's why we're going to have some of these on there. But I think that's going to be pretty. All right, so I bought 3 of these roses. I always overbuy. I'm just going to tell you that one right now. So I always overbuy, and I usually have stuff left over. But, you know, I'm just of the opinion that if you're going to craft, you can't have too many crafting supplies. That's just me. So I'm going to cut here, and we're going to see how well that goes in there. I might have to cut that a little bit more. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm also going to kind of move. We're going to kind of move this, or bend the wire is what I should say, kind of at an angle like that, because I really want that rose to kind of stand out. And you know what I'm going to do? We're going to cut a little bit more here. I'm going to actually cut this, and we're still going to use that. Don't put that away, okay? And so I'm going to dip it, and I'm actually going to kind of put it in at an angle here. All right. Oh, I think that's so pretty. Okay, all right, so we grabbed the other one, and we're gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna go at a little bit more of an angle down here. And I'm just gonna kind of put it in like so. And move it a little bit. Oops, again, be careful with that hot glue. And let's put one here, and then we'll put one on the other side as well. I bought 3 of these stems. I just kind of feel like it's really good to have odd numbers, and so that's why we went with 3. I'm going to kind of thin this down and kind of bring this over a little bit. There we go. Grab another one. Okay, so I cut this one even a shorter angle here. So at this point, you want to really make sure you don't drip any glue anywhere else, okay, because we do not want that. All right, so I'm just going to kind of hold this up. All right, so I want some things going that direction. We're going to take our extra ranunculus, I guess, that's the right one. I'm going to put it there. And then we have 3 of these little ones. And remember, you don't want to just throw this out, because that's all greenery that we can kind of fill in at the end here. So it's all good, all right? And this is the part, it's the funnest part of making this, is being able to just kind of play with flowers. Right? One of the things that we have is this, and I'm not really sure what this is called. It's almost like a white fern. So I'm going to cut a few pieces out, and we're just going to kind of cut it. Let's just cut it at the stems here. So I'm going to cut that. And then I'm going to kind of deconstruct it a little bit. All right, so we're going to have that, and then I'm just going to put that in there, and this will be a nice long piece. I'll put it down here. So we're going to cover the back of this wreath before we finish this wreath, okay? Or bouquet. Either way, it's good. What I did is I took a little zip tie here, an 8-inch zip tie. It's not little. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run it through the wire here and through the foam. And we're going to wrap it around the frame here just to kind of give it another source of security, okay? And when we pull it, we're not going to pull it too hard, okay? When we get that done, then we're going to take some glue, and we're going to put that glue right over where the zip tie went into the foam, okay? That easy, all right? So we're going to let that dry. Now I'm going to take the piece of felt that we did here, and I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to put some glue here, and I don't want to press too hard because I don't want to mess up our flowers, but you're going to take some glue, and you're going to just start adding glue to the back of this. I'm going to take, even though this is a full circle, we're going to cut it here in a moment, but I just want to use it all, and we're going to kind of hold it down, and we're going to cover that part because we don't want the back of this to show. Then I'm going to take my scissors, and you're going to want a good pair of scissors here, and you're just going to kind of go along the back here. we can always go back and take more out. So now we're going to add a little bit more glue. I can even add a little bit of glue here, and then that way the back of our wreath is nice and finished, okay? So I'm going to add some more glue here and let that set up, and then I'll be right back. I'm just going to add a little bit more trimming to the back of this. When I'm all done, I might add a little bit more glue back there. Okay, so you remember we had some extra leaves. Let's use those at the bottom here. I'm going to kind of cut them to make them a little bit smaller. And then we will be done. So basically, I'm not going to add any bows to this. I don't really think it needs it. But if you wanted to wrap a bow at the top, you could definitely do that. You could wrap the top with some velvet and some like ribbon, like the satin ribbon, if you wanted to have a smoother finish. But I think this is beautiful. And again, everything will be linked down in the description box. So if you want to make something exactly like this one, you can go to Hobby Lobby itself and pick out all of these beautiful florals and greenery to make a beautiful bouquet for your wedding, for your daughter's wedding, maybe your granddaughter's wedding or son's wedding, whatever. I think this is just absolutely stunning. I've got a few more of these. Are we going to add? I think we're going to add a few more. And you're just going to add where you think you need it. Okay, that's it. I think this will be so pretty. And like I said, I think I would want to hang it that way, but you could do it this way. You could do it all sorts of ways. So I wanted to show you a picture of it on my front door. I love this wreath. And if you made it this far, make sure to leave me some sort of wedding emoji in the comments below. And thank you, Hobby Lobby, for sponsoring this video. This is really one of my favorite wreaths of all time. I'm going to keep this wreath and cherish it because I love it. So go over to Hobby Lobby, get all of the different florals. I will have the links in the description box below, and make one for you.